Do you ever have those days or weeks when life just seems like it is so hard and it's chaotic, and the last thing you can think about is trying to stick to a diet in the middle of it all? And really, food just sounds so soothing and comforting to eat. Well, I've had a week like that this week, and I'll share with you what I did about that to keep from stopping my diet. I'm Kelli Jones with theheroawakens.com, and welcome to my channel. Hi, so yes, I'm having another tough asthma week. Oh my gosh. I saw a doctor and they got me a breathing machine, and I'm working with it, and so I don't know what's going on for sure. It could be spring, maybe, I don't know. It just seems like my body is going nuts right now. I'm not sure what is going on. I'm going to go see my regular doctor next week. I have an appointment with her, the person who treats me for asthma, and she's familiar with my medical history. But for right now, I'm on prednisone. I'm taking breathing treatments and Benadryl and Mucinex, and that seems to be what's taking care of it. And the other thing is, I think it's scaring the daylights out of me. It's been so long since I've been having issues like this, I forgot how scary it is, and so I think that I'm hyperventilating myself, so I'm trying to work on my breathing because it's causing anxiety. But yeah, so that's it. So I've run into obstacles this week with dieting, so I thought today I would share with you what I'm doing to not quit and give up on my goals and to keep going. So why do we emotionally eat food? What is stress eating, or using it as a coping mechanism? Why do we do that? Life gets hard. You have a tough day, you have a tough week, and before you know it, you've turned to comforting food to make you feel better. In the past, this is exactly where I would give up my diet and just be like, I'll start again next week, I'll start tomorrow. But I did not do this week. I made a different choice. Because usually what happens when I quit that, I end up binging. I end up eating even more. It ends up hurting my weight loss goals more than I just stuck to it and accepted my imperfection and that I had messed up right then. At first, when I was trying to figure out why I had done this week, I thought, well, maybe I want it more now. But now I realize that is not it. I have learned new tools and skills with trying to set goals as things, classes I've been taking and all that I have applied to this. And one of the biggest defeaters of goals and dreams and things you want to do is perfectionism. You want it to be perfect. You end up procrastinating or quitting or, things like that stop you from your goals. And so this week I caught that because now I've learned more about perfectionism and what that does. And so after having a really hard week and succumbing to eating some soothing, comforting foods, I wanted to go back into my old habits, but I remembered these new things I'm learning, and I was like, no, let's not quit. Let's keep going, or, So today I'm going to share with you exactly what I did this week to help with that. So number one, the first thing I did was I accepted it's not going to be perfect this week. I may gain weight. Things are not going to, happen right, but I'm still going to come in. I'm still going to weigh in. I'm still going to continue. As soon as I'm ready, I'm going to get back on track with my diet, and I looked at, things like that. So I just committed to myself, kind of like my goals from last week. Number one, I committed to not stop. I just committed to continue. Number two, also on the list from last week, I decided to not be hard on myself about it. This has been an incredibly challenging week for me, and I just was like, I cannot beat myself up because I overate and came off of keto and all of that. Because that doesn't even make it better, because once you start feeling rotten about yourself, then all you want to do is go eat more food, so it's kind of like a self-defeating process of doing that. So it's best to check it, realize what you're doing and make changes, but then just be like, hey, I'm not perfect, just things happen. Number three, one of the things, like I said a little bit, number one is I tried not to make it worse by giving up, because giving up that week means giving up everything else that you have gotten right. There's a lot of other things that you got right that week, and that means giving that up, and it gives up anything for the rest of the week that you could get right. And who knows, you never know how it's going to turn out. So, and if you don't lose or gain that week, maybe the next week you will, because you're developing all these good new habits. Because like, I don't know, because I got to thinking about it. It's a little bit different when I'm having a tough week, and the last thing I can think about right there at that moment is dieting, and really like foods just sound so soothing. I just want a normal meal that I just don't have to think about. That is very, very different from doing that and then being like, oh, well, I blew it. So now I'm gonna give up my diet, and well, I'll go have some more of those cookies or another slice of pizza or whatever it is that your comforting food is. There's a huge difference between those two extremes. Like, one is just you sat down and you had a meal you shouldn't have had, or a couple of hours. The other is taking that much further, and then it goes even further. It kind of starts spiraling, because then once you go, then you start eating a little bit more than you would, and then you start feeling rotten because once again you've blown your diet. Now it's kind of going down a spiral, and then it may take a few days to get back on. So who knows how many days you may continue down this path before you get up and try again. So it's just so just don't give up, just stick to it. And number 4, so after that, I had eaten, and it actually went a couple of days. I just was having a tough time. It's been so hard. And so I just got up and I was like, well, all right, I don't want to start over. I really, really don't want to start over. So what can I do? So I just sat down and I shifted gears, and I was like, once again, kind of like what I was saying last week, I looked at my goals. What can I do the rest of this week? And I tell you, my next decision, it was a decision to try to do better, but it didn't work. But I decided to maybe do some strict dieting the rest of the week, thinking that, I'd make up for what I had eaten. That didn't work. I'll just go ahead and let you know ahead of time. But it's okay. You're shifting gears and you're trying, and everything you decide may not work. And that happened with me this week. My first decision on what to do to fix it didn't work. It backfired. But you still want to shift gears and still try to move forward, because that's the only way to get back going in the right direction. Okay, number 5, and this is where I am for this week, is just accept that this week I may not lose weight, I may gain weight. Even if I hadn't binged, even if I had done everything right, I could have still gained weight this week. And that is okay, because I'm not going to give up. I'm going to weigh in. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pick myself up and keep going. And I think actually I'll wait until next week to share it, but through trying to figure out what to do, and not, like trying to do strict dieting to make up for it and things like that, I kind of figured out a way to do better. So I think that next week really will make up for it, and I'll share that with you then. It's already going pretty well. But I wanted to share this week because I'm thinking if I, take my goals 1 week at a time with you guys on this journey, that will help me most, because maybe in your second week you're going through some of these same issues, and I just want to tell you, don't give up. Keep going. You can do it, and it's okay. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if it's not perfect. Keep going. Do the best you can. And so that I want that message to be the biggest message for this week, and so I'm going to kind of leave it with that. Okay, so here is my weigh-in. Hi. Okay, I'm going to do my weigh-in. It is 10:47, Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. And like usual, I'm going to put my phone here so that you can see the scale. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm not going to stop. It's 10:48, Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021, and my first week back I weighed 245.8. Then last week, my second week, I had lost to 243, but this week I gained back to 245.8. But you know what? I'm going to keep going. So, all right. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Yeah, I gained back. So, okay. So week 1, I lost to 243 and from 245.8. But then this week I gained back to 245.8. So at least I'm back where I started. So I didn't gain higher than that. And, that's just the way it is. It happens. And I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, that's about everything. So I hope that this message helps. I check in next week because, like I said, I've got the story is continuing. I have a part 2 to this, and just how when you get your mindset back right and going right with dieting, it may not look great right then. You may haven't got it figured out, but that process will keep you going until you do get it figured out. So that's about everything, I think. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and just remember always that too much has not happened. It's not too late. You're not too far gone for you to get back to having the life that you'd really like to have. So don't give up. Hang in there. And if you won't, please join me on this journey if you have health and weight loss goals yourself. I would love to have you here. I would love to build a community of a support system for each other. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.